Shalom Israel. I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kakodash, the Buwanas of the Apostles, and the Elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to Lek Abdid, doing this work of faith and live with love and true sincerity. Right, I just want to get into a quick topic, based upon, friends, how you carry yourself, and, your name, because all of these things pretty much go hand in hand in the depths of, of friendship and what that really is, and how the Lord shows us how we are to be with friendship or with any type of relationship. Because even though we're speaking on this topic, but it just can refer to any sort of relationship there is, any sort of relationship. All right. So, this lesson was just inspired by, me just having a basic conversation with somebody, about some things. So this is Ecclesiasticus 6:1, and it says, instead of a friend, become not an enemy, for thereby thou shalt inherit an ill name, shame, and reproach. Even so shall a sinner that have a double tongue. And so pretty much you don't want to just be randomly making enemies, because with that comes so much. With making enemies, becomes people being able to slander your name however they see fit, whether if it's you did something that was actually in the wrong, or whether they deemed you to do something in the wrong, or whether something was misinterpreted, and now they want to try to paint this certain picture when it's really them in the end. Because people will do so many different things if you're not aware of how you conduct yourself around others. And so many things within this world, as we know, can be misinterpreted, and especially you can never know someone else's mind to know that how they will particularly interpret something that's said or something that was done, and the scriptures say, Ecclesiasticus 3:24, many are deceived by their own vain opinion, and evil suspicion have overthrown their judgment. So a lot of people, will let their own ways about things cast them in the wrong direction, because they're not thinking clearly, which we know in the truth. We have to have a balanced thoughts. We know that we have certain emotions and certain feelings towards certain things or toward the world. But at the same time, what trumps all of that? Truth. What trumps all that? Our reason, our logic as men, and how we supposed to go about things. That's supposed to trump all of that, at the end of the day. All right. So this verse 2, it says, extol not thyself in the counsel of thine own heart, that thy soul be not torn in pieces as a bull straying alone. And this is why it's good not to be full of yourself, because if you're full of yourself, then ultimately you'll be setting yourself up for a big letdown. You'll be truly setting yourself up for a big letdown when something doesn't necessarily go your way, or you thought you had this under control, but now you see that you don't, because that's how the Lord does. The Lord will do certain things to humble us, and like I'm trying to think of the scripture. I think it's Job. Matter of fact, let me see. I believe it's Job 22. Stop here. Job 22. It's 22 and 29. Yeah, it's Job 22 and 29. It says, when men are cast down, then thou shalt say there is lifting up, and he shall save the humble person. And that's what it's all about. Because the Lord will humble you, whether you're being full of yourself or whether he just needs you to get to realize certain things. And that's where that self-reflection comes in, that, which is very important. I know this is not like, a fancy topic that, most would like to hear or things like that, but character, and especially within these times, is very, very important. We know the things that are coming down the pipeline, and just how, you know, the apostles tell us how we are to carry ourselves, and how we are to watch the things in which we say, so that Esau don't demonize us and all that. So, you know, all of these things are very important, man. Every single part of these scriptures are that very important, especially when it comes down to character, man. You know, character building and things like that, you know. So let me go back to Ecclesiasticus 6. So Ecclesiasticus 6, and I read verse 2 again. It says, "Extol not thyself in the counsel of thine own heart, and that thy soul be not torn in pieces as a bull strand alone. Thou shalt eat up thy dry leaves, and lose thy fruit, and leave thyself as a dry tree." Because that's what it's like at the end of the day. You're gonna be sitting there barren and wondering why, things are not taking place for you, why things are not happening for you. Once you burn certain bridges, or you cross certain avenues that necessarily may not need to be crossed, you let everything play out how it's supposed to play out, and you play your position. And we let the Most High handle our battles. We already know how that go. From the mental to the physical, whatever it is, we let the Most High handle our battles. And when it's time to see fit, then we need to do what we need to do, but not just acting in a certain manner just because, oh, you want to do this. Nah, it doesn't work like that. It shouldn't work like that, because what a man of wisdom moves in silence. And that's the beautiful thing about wisdom. Wisdom moves in silence, in the ways in which people least expect it. So that's what you really have to pay attention to. Verse 4, "A wicked soul shall destroy him that hath it, and shall make him to be laughed to scorn of his enemies. Sweet language will multiply friends, and a fair speaking tongue will increase kind greetings." So that just goes to show you right there that it's all about your approach, all about your character, what people say about you, so on and so forth. We know a lot of the ways within the world we're going to have to play the game, and then some ways we can actually be sincere about certain things, and we can actually show a little bit of ourselves, you know what I'm saying, and be who we are to a degree within the world. That's that fine balance right there, that most people don't know how to have. People only really know how to be one way. But we know that within this truth, we pretty much, we Clark Kent, you know what I'm saying? In the world, we Clark Kent, but when it comes to the scriptures, when it comes to the world, we step in that booth, you know what I'm saying? And because this is our profession before anything else, So, verse 6 says, "Be in peace with many, nevertheless, have but one counselor of 1,000. Because too many opinions can sway judgment in a wrong manner, and you don't know everyone's intentions. So it's like, if you have that one in whom you go to, that one in whom you trust, then you stick with that one. And they've been solid all the way through. You stick with that one, as opposed to going to everybody, going to tell you many various different things, and could possibly lead you down the path to destruction. You want to simplify things for yourself. You don't want to make things harder upon yourself. And in verse 7, "If thou wouldest get a friend, prove him first, and be not hasty to credit him. For some man is a friend in his own occasion, and will not abide in the day of thy trouble." And there it is right there. And this is the main point, is that if thou wouldest get us a friend, uh, they gotta be proved first. They gotta be tested. Whether it's a blatant test, or whether it's a test that just plays itself out in the long run, it's still a test. You still monitor things, because everyone has to be tried through the fire, man. And especially if they want to be a part of your life in some capacity and different things like that, everybody has to be tried and tested, and everybody will be. But what I've noticed, that people going to just show themselves. People going to show their hand. You just let them talk. You let them be who they are. You let them do this. You let them do that. They definitely going to show their hand, And with Yahweh Shai, and the Lord, The scriptures say what? Uh, for acceptable men are tried through the furnace of adversity. For as gold is tried in the fire, so are men as in the furnace of adversity. Roughly paraphrasing. Ecclesiasticus 2:5. You know what I'm saying? So we know that everything has to be proved. Everything has to be tested. You know, to prove what work you are, to prove your worth to a degree. Not to a degree, but that's what it is, to actually prove your worth and to know your worth, to know how solid you are as an individual, and because when you're too hasty to credit someone and you haven't really been through anything with them, hey, now you turn around and you go mess around and see that, hey, this person wasn't really who I thought they were. But if you took that time to actually get to know them, how the Lord is doing with us throughout our trial periods, then you know that you can trust them. How else is the Lord going to know that we are worthy of being given the keys to the kingdom, unless he puts us through these various tests? He has to do this, man. This is a part of life. This is a part of, or like with a man and a woman, a natural selection. How they say with alpha males and beta males and so on and so forth. What a woman is going to choose or only going to submit herself to, that strongest male. And you can see that with various animals, in wildlife, man. And lions, is one of the primary examples of that, man. So everything has to be tried and tested, and we have to, monitor ourselves and monitor our beings as we go along, man. Because that's what it's about at the end of the day, and that counts towards a part of our story as well. A big part of our story, that we walk, righteously, that we have a good name, that we're not full of ourselves, and that we know how to conduct ourselves, and that we're seen truly as men of Yahweh Bashmi Awashah, So, with that, I hope this segment was edifying. And I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashmi Awashai, Bashim Kakwadash, double wonders to the apostles and the elders, great millstone, and shalom to Lek out there doing his work of faith and labor of love and true sincerity. Shalom.